Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This Nusuk tutorial on registration and creating your profile is presented to you by Al Bayt and Ikhlas Hajj and Umrah Services. In this video, we will give you a tutorial on how to properly create the account on the Nusuk portal for your 2025 Hajj trip, inshallah. Before we get started, I would like to remind everyone to first check your passports. Your passports must have a minimum of 6 months validity from the time you enter into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So we recommend everyone to have a passport that's valid up to November 1, 2025. If you do not have a passport that is valid up to November 1, 2025, we highly recommend that you do not proceed with the registration ahead or creating of the account. We recommend you go ahead and renew your passport first and come back later on once you have it and upload the appropriate documents at that time and create your profile. This is very important. If not, you will run into challenges later on if you secure a package or at the time of getting a visa. So once again, highly recommend you check your validity on your passport. Okay, so once you are on the main page of hajj.nusuk.sa, you'd go into the registration portion of it, which is right here in the URL, or you can follow it on the Nusuk page. You're here, you will have to follow through. It does say 2024 for now, but let's ignore that and let's just proceed ahead. And if there's any updates to this website, we will let you know and update you accordingly. So first you want to select the country of residence. All right. So regardless of where your passport is, it could be of a different country, but if you're residing in the country of Canada, then you want to select Canada. And we will discuss later on if you have another nationality's passport, but not a Canadian passport, what's the process there. But nonetheless, you could apply. Please go ahead and select country of residence. Click on I confirm this is my country. And then you would enter your appropriate email address over here. So what you want to do is you want to type in, let me just close this, samir.ikhlas@outlook.com. So this is the email address that I want to register with. Each person is going to require their own email address. I will walk you through with that later on. Also, how to create a profile for multiple people in the family. There's a different process for that. Once the primary profile is created, and which is what we're doing, we are creating the first one, the primary one, and then we will add the family members later on. You should not do this process for each family member at the start. Each one should not follow this. There will be another video that will show how to add family members if you all are traveling together. Now, if you are not traveling together, then it is important that you create separate profiles. But let's say a husband and wife want to go together, then that's going to be one primary profile and independent family profiles within the same account or dependent accounts, right? So we will walk you through that, but just wanted to put that out there for you right now. So consent and subscribe to receive all email updates. You want to click on that. It's very important. If you want to review the privacy policy and the terms and conditions, please go ahead and click here appropriately. This is the CAPTCHA. Right now it's just saying I am not a robot, but sometimes you may have, hey, select all bicycles or select all airplanes. Different types to validate you're not a robot. It will happen eventually. You will get it at some point during the entire process. It is important that you get used to using the CAPTCHA and understand. Do not get frustrated by it. It is there for the stability of the system. So now you would hit click on create an account once you have done that. And let's see if there's any errors that do pop up. Okay, so now once that happens and there's no errors, it's going to send you an OTP code. So this is a one-time password verification. It is sent to the appropriate email address. You would go there and you would get it and you would enter the verification here. If you did not receive after 5 minutes, you can request another code. So what we'll do is we'll go into our mailbox and take a look if we have received the one-time password code. Sorry, just getting a message over here. And I'm just waiting for the email to come in right now. And sometimes it does take time. And we'll just give it a minute or two. I'll just do a refresh. At times when it does get busy and the servers are busy, it could take a little bit longer than we would like. So I'll just give it a few more minutes and it should come in. Oh, so in my situation here, actually head to the junk emails. That is something that you want to be aware of depending on your profile. So I know Gmail did not, and but Outlook had put this into junk. So and I noticed that a junk email had popped up. What you do want to do is mark it as it's not junk, so in future time it does not end up in there. And I said never send future messages from no_reply at notifications@nusuk.se to junk folder. So I clicked OK, and now it's been moved to my inbox. So I'll go to my inbox, and this is my one-time code. You can click on it. You could actually just copy it, easier that way, and you would paste it in here, or you could manually type it in. Now it's asking me to create a password. So I will create a password. Let's look at the minimum requirements before I go ahead and create. It has to be 8 characters. It has to have one lowercase at least one uppercase, at least one number, at least one special character, and both have to match. So let's go ahead and put something in here. All right. So as I met the requirements, you may have noticed all green check marks have come up. That's a good sign. And now you would click on create an account. And you will get this pop-up message saying account successfully created. Your account has been created successfully. Please log in to finalize this registration process. I'm also getting a safe password on my browser. If this works for you, then go ahead. I'm going to use it for myself. Okay, now you're going to also click account successfully created. I will click OK. And now I will have to log back in, and I will just close this off. All right, and I'm going to click once again, I'm not a robot, and I will have to log in. It will ask me for my it will send me an OTP code every time I log in. So as you see, the page is going. It's going to go to the OTP verification page. We'll just give it a minute to load up here. As I said, it does sometimes take time depending on the traffic, depending on a variety of different things. So please be patient. And so the page is loading up. So verify OTP code. I will go back into my Outlook, and yep, it's already here. This time, it did not go into my junk folder. It came into my inbox, and I had also gotten an email saying you have successfully registered. So I will go in here, one-time password, and I will just copy it, copy, paste, very easy. And I will, it'll automatically go in here. Now, automatically, it'll load me up into my upload your documents page. Sometimes I'm seeing this guide pop up, but if you don't see this guide pop up, you just click on the view uploading guide. This uploading guide is very important. It's going to be very helpful, very easy to use if you follow the instructions. So we'll go through the guide, as this is a key critical function or part of the registration process. So to upload your documents, the first one we're going to talk about is your passport. Your passport picture page has to look like this, right? It has to be either in a PNG or JPEG format. It has to be in the dimensions of a maximum of 800 by 400 pixels and up to a maximum of 1 megabyte. It has to be clearly visible. You can use a scanner, you can use your cell phone and scan it and get it there. And I'll talk to you later on of how you can adjust the red dimensions and what applications you could use for that. The next thing is your personal photo has to also be uploaded. Once again, a PNG or JPEG file. However, this one's dimension has to be between 200 by 200 pixels. And once again, 1 megabyte. The photo must be consistent with passport guidelines. So the photo background has to be white and you wear any formal attire. For people who are not of Canadian residents but want to travel through Nusuk from the Canadian side, as I was mentioning earlier, this is possible. You are able to do this. What you also need to do is you have to upload proof of residency. A proof of residency is a PR card. Once again, it has to be PNG or JPEG, maximum dimensions of 800 by 400, and maximum of 1 MB in file size. It does say you could upload employment contracts, driver's license, lease agreement, property ownership document, work visa and or contract, bank statement. If you have a PR card, we highly recommend it is a PR card that you upload. All right. So before we go start uploading, I will show you an app that I have used and I recommend people to use. It's an easy one. If you're using a Windows laptop, it's called Microsoft Photos. You would open the appropriate file, either the passport, the picture, or the PR card scan pages in that app, and resize it and make it to the right appropriate file size in there. So I have it already open, and I'm going to use a random picture here. Just to show you where to click, but you would obviously have your own appropriate pictures in there. So I'm just taking a picture of a CN tower. You're in here, you want to resize it. As you can see, it's a small size anyways and a small pixel, but just for where you can see where you can click, we can go here on the three dots into Microsoft Photos, resize image, and you would play around with the width and height. So say 200 by 200, etc. And select the appropriate file type if it's not the correct file type, and you would see what's the current and then what's the new size and the size for the file as well too. And you would click on save, and you would pretty much resave it as test2, etc. Just so you know that it's a different size, right? So that's what you would do with every portion for everyone. Some people may not need to do this if they already have it in the right appropriate format. You also don't need to use this app. There's various different apps, programs that are out there. Apple may have their own, but this is just one so you have an understanding of how to do it. Okay, we're now going to continue with the documentation as discussed a few moments ago. After uploading the documents, there's these buttons here, and once they're uploaded, you would see that they have been attached. Once you do that, you can save and continue later once again, or you can go next. So we're going to proceed ahead with next. The next phase is going to be a very critical phase in our getting the information loaded. What you would see here is once you're in here is your information you have to manually enter. So what you would see here, it says first name English, which is with an asterisk. Asterisk means it's a mandatory field. Second father name, other family name, other father name, or other G dot father name means grandfather name. last name, first name, second father name Arabic, other father name Arabic, last name Arabic. So, first of all, ignore all the Arabic. Do not fill this information up. Do not fill anything that does not have an asterisk. Your first name, spell it out as the way it is in your passport, letter per letter, exactly what the space is. Even if there's a space in your passport name in your first name, and your first name is I'm just gonna throw it out there. Let's say Hamza, and middle name is Yusuf. Don't put Hamza in first name and then second name or slash father name as Yusuf, because in our Canadian passport it doesn't spell it differently. It's just one word. It says Hamza Yusuf, so you would put it in here, type it in the exact format. Last name, same thing, right? Whatever's in the last name field, just type it out exactly the same way. If there's a space, put a space. The reason being is if you do not do it that way, there will be errors when your visa is issued, when your ticket is issued, and if those don't match when you get to the airport, you will run into problems. So do not make this mistake. Very critical. Follow the way it is in your passport. Everything else you can ignore. Fill up the rest of it. Fill up your nationality. So if you have a Canadian passport, then it's Canada, city, um, date of birth, birthplace, gender, passport type, passport number, issuing place, and date of issuance. Then what you would enter is the passport expiry date. You would fill up the passport expiry date and everything, and then submit it for review. You would consent and you would confirm the accuracy of every detail, and then you would submit. If you're not ready, you would click save and continue later on. So this is a very critical aspect of the document submission. Please make sure you follow the steps correctly and submit the documentations accordingly. Okay, now that we have submitted our submission, we will now be prompted to proceed ahead with the application form. We are now in the application form phase, and we will go ahead and fill up the information as needed. So this will be the email address, right, that you have signed up with, your mobile contact number. So you would put in your phone number. So for example, I will put this number here and put my number down as my contact number in Canada, right? Because I had registered, it's going to give me a message. Each person has to have a different phone number. I will enter somebody else's phone number that I know that is not registered at the time being. And this is the Saudi mobile number. If I don't have it, it's not critical. Social status, you would upload it appropriately. Fill up the emergency contact name and information. Street address is required. So for example, I will just use a information here and fill it up. And the home address could be the same one, or sorry, let me make it. Street address is the number, and home address is. All right. PO box required, zip code, postal code. If we don't have a PO box, just put NA. This is postal code. Fill it up. Apartment house number. If it isn't, just put in NA. And nearest embassy to you would be Ottawa. There's two. Just select one of them for Ottawa. Occupational details. Fill up, but if you don't, as best as you can. Self-employed if you are. Current employer, self-employed if you own yourself, but fill it up appropriate. I'm just doing it here. So not applicable, let's just say. Name of sector, private or government. And if you have a work contact number, you can put in it. If not, arrival details, expected entry into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to the best of your knowledge. So approximately, you would be entering it in, let's say, sometime in maybe May 21st is a good date to put in. Expected travel, it's going to be by air. Insert flight number. I will provide you one to put in. It could be the Saudi Airlines flight, but it's not critical. This is just for the data that we need to submit. Some of this may change as we as the processes come in with updates, right? So they may remove, they may add. So a flight number that you can put in is SV62 for people for Toronto, for example. Now you would continue to proceed ahead. Click on next, or you can save and continue later depending on how you are. Okay, page is loading. Background details. Previously, you see visa. Yes. Let's say if you have, right? Yes. Then please provide description. Previously received visa. Yes. Umrah visa. Let's say, for example, you've been. If not, you put no. Previous visa rejection. Let's say no. If you did, then please update this appropriately. Are there any restrictions on your passport? Restriction can be valid for one trip. So no. Do you have any relatives? If you do, then please fill it up. If you don't, then put it as no. Do you have other nationalities? Fill this up if you do. If not, it's no. Have you traveled to other countries in the past 6 months? If you have, then fill it up. If not, then you can just click on no and proceed ahead. Completing your application is essential for visa eligibility and issuance upon package purchase. Have you been deported from any country, including Saudi, for any reason? If you have, then please put yes. If in the descriptions, but if not, then no. Have you worked in the media or political field? If you have, please appropriately update. Have you served in the armed forces, the internal security forces, the state-sponsored forces, or any private entity or intelligence agency, whether job is civilian, military, or through a contractor? If you have, then please put the information as yes and update. Have you ever been sentenced in a country, in your country or any country? Have you been ever arrested or convicted in terrorism-related charges? So you have to answer all of these questions appropriately and read them thoroughly, right? There's quite a bit of information that you have to update. Have the required vaccines to be taken. So this could be the meningitis. If you have, then please update the information. If not, click no. But don't worry, you don't have to. You could get it after you, as closer to the travel dates for the vaccine. If you have a physical disability, please update accordingly. And inshallah, then you continue going through the application form. So I'm just going to put this as no for this person here and then proceed. If you answer something incorrectly, then a message will come up, and or if you miss something, a message will pop up on your screen. This information helps everyone, so it's very important that you upload it as best as possible, and truthfully, it'll help the Ministry of Hajj, the Ministry of Health, and your Hajj provider, such as Al-Bayt and Ikhlas Umrah, to support you properly. If you have any chronic disease or illnesses, it's very important you update this information. If you have any mental illnesses, please update this. And if you have any special needs, please update this information too. If you've had any surgeries, all this information. This is just to help. Remember, there's millions of people coming. The more we know, the better it is, right? Please update your blood type. That's also helpful. And if you don't know, please put it as unknown. Allergy, other, please update it. please update everything here to get the best service possible. All right. Oh, sorry. You see, I missed something. Did you have any surgeries? I hadn't clicked it, and it prompted me to update that. So let me click on next again. This is a quick tutorial. I am navigating. I have done this in the past. I do highly recommend you take your time and you update this very clearly and accurately. There. So contact details. So this is just the emails, the details here, right? So please make sure you review this before submission. This will also go on ahead said it was previously on the previous option that that you will go for approval. Actually, it's after these steps it will go for approval. Okay, and once you're here, you have to consent, etc., and accept all the terms and conditions. And understand everything. And it's very important to know that I acknowledge that by registering the portal, my Hajj are still tentative and purchasing packaging is yet to be activated. I accept to provide the original certificate of vaccinations when needed. I have reviewed all accepted terms and conditions. So when you reach this point, you can add a family member, your spouse, your children, um, your parents, whoever you want. You could add it here, and you can always add it from the My Family section at a later time. I would recommend, if you already know who you're going with, and you do it at one time, as the approvals and the review of the process starts right away. So when you do add a family member, you will go through the same questionnaire as mentioned above in the same process here. All right. You can hit save and continue later, or you can hit submit as well. But before we go there, I will click on add a family member to just walk you through and just see the starting process of it, right? By adding a new family member, you're essentially committing to manage their application, select the appropriate package, and handle payments for the entire family. Please be aware that you have the flexibility to transfer these responsibilities to another family member at a later stage. You can add up to 8 members. Please provide your family's email address or for later activation of their account using an OTP. Family member's email address, and this member is my, you would have to select what it is, and the family country's resident, FAQ, and add family member. And then you would follow the same processes as we discussed earlier to add your family member. Should you have any challenges, please feel free to reach out to the Al-Bayt and Ikhlas Hajj and Umrah team to continue providing you the support. I'll click cancel here, as I'm not going to add more into it, but I will click submit, and it will go for reviews afterwards. If you have any questions, once again, please feel free to reach out, and thank you for watching this video. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.